Everyone thinks the Mind Flayer is the villain, the shadow monster from the Upside Down, the hive mind controlling the Demogorgons, the thing that possessed Will. But what if we've been looking at this backwards the entire time? What if the Mind Flayer isn't invading Hawkins? What if it's defending itself? And what if the real villain has been Hawkins Lab all along? Let me explain. Season 1, 11 opens the gate to the Upside Down. Everyone blames her. But why was she opening gates in the first place? Because Brenner forced her to. He tortured her. He experimented on her. He weaponized a child. And when she touched the Demogorgon in the void, she wasn't attacking it. She was just existing in a space that connected to its world. The Demogorgon didn't choose to come to Hawkins. It was pulled through. And once it arrived, it was just trying to survive. It was hunting, feeding, doing what any apex predator does. But we call it a monster because it killed humans. We call it evil because it's not from our world. But biologically, the Demogorgon is just an animal, and animals aren't evil. They're just doing what they evolved to do. Now let's talk about the Upside Down itself. Everyone assumes it's a hellish nightmare dimension. But what if it's not? What if the Upside Down is just an ecosystem? A parallel world with its own biology, its own food chain, its own rules. The vines aren't evil, they're roots. The spores aren't poison. They're how the environment communicates. The Mind Flayer isn't a demon. It's the immune system. Think about it. What happens when a foreign substance enters your body? Your immune system attacks it. White blood cells swarm the infection. Your body fights back, not because it's evil, but because it's trying to survive. And that's exactly what the Mind Flayer is doing. Humans invaded the Upside Down. 11 tore open a gate. Hawkins Lab started experimenting. They sent soldiers through. They studied the creatures. They tried to weaponize the dimension. And the Upside Down responded. It sent the Mind Flayer to close the wound, to stop the invasion, to protect itself. We're not the victims. We're the infection. Now let's look at Season 2. The Mind Flayer possesses Will, and everyone says it's trying to take over our world. But watch closely. The Mind Flayer doesn't want to conquer Hawkins. It wants to close the gate. When Will is possessed, he keeps drawing the tunnels, the vines, the root system spreading under Hawkins. And what are they doing? They're trying to reach the gate, to seal it, to stop humans from entering the Upside Down. The soldiers who go into the tunnels, they're burning the vines. They're destroying the Upside Down's immune response. And the Mind Flayer fights back, not because it's evil, but because it's dying. And when Joyce and Hopper finally close the gate at the end of Season 2, the Mind Flayer retreats. It doesn't keep attacking, it goes home, because the wound is healed. The invasion is over. But then Season 3 happens, and humans open the gate again. The Russians build a machine under Starcourt Mall. They rip open a new doorway. And the Mind Flayer? It comes back. Because of course it does. Imagine if someone kept breaking into your house. You'd fight back too. And this time, the Mind Flayer is smarter. It doesn't possess one person. It builds an army. It takes over rats, then humans. It creates the Meat Flayer. And people say that's proof it's evil. But think about what it's actually doing. It's gathering biomass, building a body, creating a physical form in our world. Why? Because it can't fight us from the Upside Down. It needs to be here, to close the gate, to stop the invasion. And what happens at the end of Season 3? Hopper destroys the Russian machine. The gate closes, and the Mind Flayer's body disintegrates. It dies, because it was never meant to be in our world. It was just trying to protect its own. Now Season 4. The gate is closed. The Mind Flayer is gone. So who's the villain? Vecna, Henry Creel, a human, not a monster from another dimension. A human who was tortured by Hawkins Lab. A human who was weaponized by Brenner. A human who became so broken that he fled to the Upside Down. And what did Vecna do when he got there? He shaped it. He controlled it. He used the Mind Flayer like a weapon. Because Vecna isn't part of the Upside Down's ecosystem. He's a colonizer. He's the infection. And the Mind Flayer? It was probably trying to get rid of him too. But Vecna is too powerful. He bent the Upside Down to his will. And now the entire dimension is corrupted. Frozen in 1983. Stuck in the moment 11 opened the first gate. The Upside Down isn't evil. It's wounded. It's been invaded, experimented on, weaponized, and controlled by humans for years. And every time it tries to defend itself, we call it the villain. So here's the truth. Hawkins Lab is the villain. Brenner is the villain. The US government that funded the experiments? Villain. The Russian scientists who tried to reopen the gate? Villains. Vecna, who hijacked an entire dimension for his revenge? Villain. But the Demogorgons? The Vines? The Mind Flayer? They're just trying to survive. And we're the ones who made them fight. Now let's talk about Season 5. Because if this theory is true, then the only way to save Hawkins is to give the Upside Down what it's been trying to get since Season 1. Closure. Not by destroying it, but by leaving it alone. 11 needs to close the gates permanently. No more experiments. No more invasions. No more trying to control something we don't understand. The Upside Down doesn't want to conquer us. It wants us gone. And honestly, it has every right to feel that way. Because we've been the monsters this whole time. So here's my Season 5 prediction. The final battle won't be humans versus the Upside Down. It'll be humans versus Vecna. Because Vecna is the one keeping the dimensions connected. He's the one spreading the corruption. He's the one who won't let the Upside Down heal. And when 11 defeats him, the Upside Down will finally be free. The vines will retreat. The gates will close. And the Mind Flayer? It'll go back to being what it always was. Not a villain, just an ecosystem, trying to survive. And maybe that's the real lesson of Stranger Things. That monsters aren't born. They're created. By fear, by ignorance, by humans who think they have the right to control everything. The Mind Flayer isn't the villain. We are. And it's time we face that truth.